probably recording.
God, oh my god, oh my god.
It's Iniquity.
Iniquity, if you can hear me, I love you.
Oh,
Go on.
yo, Iniquity's on.
Everybody freaks out as soon as he comes back on the network.
Yeah, it's must
Oh my
plug
god, it's him,
in
oh my god, it's him, oh my god, it's him.
Wait,
Is
guys,
that the
I
real
need an
Iniquity
ambulance.
question mark?
I need an ambulance.
Oh
Stop
my
making
god,
a
it's
video.
Iniquity, join, quick!
Wow, everybody just
Hey,
blew up
yo.
the chat when he got on.
Everybody's,
Oh my God, oh my God.
everybody's waiting to
Everybody's
see
gonna-
the invite that he says I
Iniquity!
have to join again.
This isn't happening!
No?
It's
happening.
just freaking out.
Hold up, is he streaming?
Thug life though.
Anybody know if he's streaming?
If he's recording, I'm gonna shoot myself.
Saying his
waiting for
name
when
is
he
not gonna
says
make him
something in the
want
chat.
to invite
As
us.
soon as he says a
why?
word,
Sucks,
the entire
40 kills
chat
a
is
game.
going to explode. It's gonna
It already did
explode
explode.
I mean, it's already
Yeah,
exploding
yeah.
now considering
It's
he's
currently
here.
exploding.
Iniquity, I love
opaque.
you.
Oh my
Recording.
god, it's really
So
him.
if I see my name in one of his videos, I'm gonna freak.
Yeah, I know, me too.
I'm Iniquity plugs in myself.
Whoa, whoa,
Oh my
come
God.
on, calm down there.
Whoa, dude.
So you guys have me dying laughing, crying for like the past 20 minutes editing that intro. So I turned on my Xbox earlier in the day. I turned on my Elgato recording software and it's always recording in the background no matter what's happening, right? So I went to go make breakfast and when I finally got back, I see a bunch of you just talking amongst yourselves and it had me laughing, so I decided not to say anything yet and just keep recording. We played a few games, we played a few attrition games, maybe some CTF, and then I ended up playing with a bunch of you 8v8 in Last Night Standing and Pilots vs. Pilots. We played like on Homestead with all of us using Ronin, which was a ton of fun. There's one game we all use EPGs. I gotta do more custom games with you guys in the future because that was so much fun. And the cool thing is that it allows me to invite 15 of you at once instead of just 5 of you, so we definitely gotta do that in the future. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for showing me love every time I show up online, whether it be on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and I'm not gonna lie, I gotta show my PC brethren some love. I still appreciate you guys as well. But let's get into today's video. So it's going to be a bit different. This is actually not a live commentary. I recorded this gameplay maybe yesterday or the day before, and it's a pretty good PvP game. Now, what I wanted to do was give you my literal thoughts on what was happening and why I decided to do what I do. A lot of the times, I'm just giving you my live reactions of what's happening, and I'm not telling you exactly how I make every decision. So I thought I would do this every now and then and just try and be extra detailed with what I'm doing, and maybe some of you who are trying to get better can actually learn from this. So, enough with the intros, let's get into this game, and I'm going to try my best to explain exactly what's happening, or as best as I remember it. So, we just died there, we're currently 6 kills, 1 death, we're using the car, phase shift, arc grenades, power cell, I think I'm using the wingman, amped weapons, pretty much the tryhard class. I'm trying to get a good game here, I'm trying to slay out. As soon as I respawned, I looked at the minimap and I saw that my teammates were running towards this section because the enemy was spawning here. So now we're in their spawn and they're all dead, so they should be clearing out. Now you see on my radar it says west, there's an enemy. So I need to slowly make my way over there, while at the same time looking for enemies. I hear the guy over here to my right. He's crouching and hiding, I guess. I hear another guy. While I was shooting him, I heard another guy in this direction where I'm looking now. So now I'm trying to just slowly take my time. You can hear his gunshots to the left. So I threw an arc grenade just in case he happens to be there. My teammate got him, luckily. It's probably going to talk a lot faster because I need to explain more things. Alright, so now they're north. I can hear their gunshots. They're on the radar. I wanted to throw a grenade up the stairs, but for some reason I just choked it. Now there's a guy straight ahead of me. As I'm shooting him, I hear one behind me. So I turn around, but he's dead already. There's one. So I'm not going to mention this every single time it happens, but just so you know, I like to use the walls when I fight. I think when you're in the air, and if your enemy is grounded, you normally have the advantage, so just keep that in mind. Try and implement that into your gameplay if you like to be aggressive. However, we had this fight, right? We got shot. Look at all the different bullet sprays. There's so many people shooting in that one spot, and I'm already weak. I see another enemy. He's probably about to try shooting me. I don't want to die, so I need to phase shift. However, there's also an enemy to my left if you look at the radar. So I know that I'm going to run in there, but I have to keep in mind that he's there. So what I normally tend to do is start pre-firing like now. For some reason, I stopped shooting because I had no idea where he was. I was like, okay, maybe he's not in here. And then I saw him at the last second, we got the kill. So normally, or pretty much every single time I get a kill, I always look at my radar immediately. So right now you can see that they're spawning to the right of me, and that means I don't have to worry about the left. I mean, every now and then you might be wrong. Some person who's fast and who likes to flank, they might actually catch you off guard in those situations. But I didn't have, in my mind, a reason to look left because I felt like every single enemy was to my right. You see 2 markers on there, so I know they're right there. And then I know that they're all gonna, like the rest of their team is gonna spawn behind them. Now, if I sprint past this wall and they're both happen to be looking at me, they're going to have the advantage in a gunfight. So what I tend to do is slide like now. I can see an enemy. I throw one nade. There's one invisible. But this guy's the closest to me, so that's who I want to kill. I know as soon as I kill him, I need to immediately jump or slide and attack the next guy. My teammates end up getting the kill on that guy, but I know there's enemies still behind me. So I slide and jump just to get a little bit of a boost. If any of the enemies happen to be shooting me, I'll be a tougher target to hit. As soon as I'm jumping towards this wall, I see an enemy there. So I know as soon as I run back towards that area, he's gonna be the first guy in my sights. Get the kill, which is great, but we took way too long to get that kill. I missed a lot of shots, and that guy just had way too much time to kill us. Now, you can just look at my radar. They're still spawning in the same direction. My teammates are keeping them at bay. I'm gonna just work my way back over there. I heard shots to my right over here, and I see that my teammate's there, so I'm like, okay, I need to go help him. He just dies, so I know the enemy's still here. We gotta win this gunfight. I know one guy's still in there because I can hear him. So I pre-fire just in case he happens to turn the corner. And here's a nade check. Now, as I'm nading that guy, I see enemies here. So I'm hoping that my teammates can kill the guy that I naded while I can kill these guys. I had to phase shift out. I thought I was about to die. Now I see that there's an enemy here shooting my teammates. And I know there's one outside and there's one behind us if you look at the radar. They're just all over the place. Just try not to panic. So I'm looking at the radar now. I can see that my enemies are spawning to my right, and my teammates are, some of them are behind me, and the other ones are going to spawn to the left. Now, I don't want to run straight at the enemy at this point because they have a, I mean, they're in the dome, right? And they have, if depending on how they're playing, they might have the advantage. If they're just rushing us, then it depends on who has a better shot. But if they're just camping or aiming down sights at this little corridor, they're going to have the advantage. So I don't want to take that chance and just run straight at them. My idea right now is to jump around these walls, avoid getting shot at the moment, and just try and flank them. So it ended up being a great thing that I decided to do that. We ended up finding this guy on our failed attempt at a flank. But let's say we did run straight through that corridor towards the enemy and this guy survived. He might have either killed me on his own flank or he might have killed my teammates, which is altogether a bad thing. So because we killed him, we stopped any future potential kills and we saved ourselves. I don't know why this happened, but I decided at this moment I didn't want to flank anymore. I wanted to just run at them, which ended up being a fantastic thing because we immediately found this guy. As soon as I saw him, I decided to slide. I knew that I already had running momentum, so sliding would make me just fly right past him and probably make him miss his shots, which he did, and we had the advantage because of it. Nothing too crazy here. I see enemies, I shoot enemies. I heard footsteps behind me, so I turned around. Ended up being my teammates, though. I still don't want to run straight through this corridor because I know that the entire enemy team is just waiting there in their spawn. So now it's time to try and go for that flank. You can look at the radar now. None of my teammates have the idea that I have. That is not a good thing. But I mean, at the moment, I'm kind of baiting my teammates to keep the enemy busy while I do some work. So I see one guy to my left. I see one guy to my right now. Let's get that kill. We had a little bit of a slide there, and we crouched during the middle of the fight, so I think it made him miss his shots. We had a nice advantage there. Now, these guys are just still so busy with my teammates in that mid-corridor that they're not worried about me trying to flank. They have no idea that's happening. They're just all worried about that team fight, and I just take advantage of it. This is something that I do all the time, and I think because I'm explaining it or putting it in slow motion that it might help you, I'm always just taking advantage of my radar and making decisions because of it. So the radar says right now they're still spawning here. You can see one to my right, one to my left just now. Decided to phase and get aggressive. We got two gunfights there. That guy hit me a little bit, so I decided to phase just in case there's a third fight. He would have definitely had the kill on me, so I decided if I phase and just reposition myself, I might have a chance of surviving. Luckily, nobody was there. I know there's one guy to my right. I think he ran in the building, though. I can hear him to my right. As I'm shooting him, I see one guy in front of me and one guy to my left is shooting me. So I decided to try and phase, reposition, but unfortunately we got killed there. We can't survive all the time, boys. But we can respawn and just get right back into the fight and just start over. We learn from our mistakes. Now they're spawning to my right. However, I see enemies to my left. So I don't know exactly which way to look. I'm just kind of hoping that I see somebody here. So there's a nade check for you. I slide through just in case anybody happens to be camping. I see nothing. So now I'm like, wait, they're not actually spawning here. And then that guy pops out of nowhere. So right now, I saw the guy straight ahead on the walls. I know I had to go and chase him. At the same time, through my peripheral vision, I see one or two more enemies to my left. So now I'm like, oh crap. So my plan here is to jump on the wall to my right, get height advantage like I always say, and to hopefully get a nice nade to either catch one or two guys off guard. So I start cooking my nade, I jump on the wall, I'm looking for my target or where the best spot to throw a nade is. I see that guy right in the middle. We hit him with the nade. That's my target now. That's the guy that I set my sights on. Now, during all that, I saw like 2 or 3 more enemies there, and I don't expect to kill every single one of them, so I'm like, you know what? Let's phase shift and get the hell out of here and reposition and just go right back at it. So, I started firing here before I saw anyone for 2 reasons. One, because I knew there were some enemies to my left, so it's always good to pre-fire in those situations just because you want your bullets to come out faster than the enemy. But 2, because we're using the car. The car is very interesting. It only has recoil on the first burst of the gun, usually like the first 3 or 4 bullets. So a lot of the times what I do is I'll start hip firing before I even really want to aim at my enemy, and then I aim down sights, because by the time you aim down sights, the gun becomes an absolute laser beam. So by the time I crossed the corner and these guys noticed I was there, I was already in laser beam mode. You can tell with the slow motion how late the reactions really are, which I think is pretty cool. We killed the first guy. The second guy had trouble hitting us because we engaged with the slide, and then I jumped after getting the first kill. So I'm just always trying to stay active, always trying to stay on the walls and in the air, because it just makes you a harder target to hit. Now at this point I see that their spawn has flipped, so I want to work my way over there. We get a nade ready just in case. See that guy straight ahead. Now, as I was shooting him, I saw like those other 2 enemies just running at me from my left, so I knew I had to get ready as soon as that fight was over. So I know they're all spawning here. My idea is to use the movement, use my slide hops and phase shift to get into a advantageous position to try and confuse my enemy. I know my teammates are all behind me, so what I'm thinking is if I can make the entire team focus on me, either I'm gonna get the kills, or since they're all focusing on me, they'll be easy kills for my teammates, because now they're all turning. Look at how they're all looking at me now. Now they're basically free kills for my teammates if I happen to fail. So I was kind of like the point man, and I try and be the leader in these types of games where, like, let's say we all know there's a group of enemies in one little room. I will be the first person to run into that room and challenge all of them and inspire everybody else to do the same. So that this fight got kind of chaotic. I just tried to stay on the walls. You can see that the enemies are focused more on the guys that are grounded as well. So I always have the advantage in that situation. Now I can see a guy trying to run away there with phase shift to my left, so I want to go try and chase him. I do make a mistake here though. See, I said this earlier, normally when I know there's an enemy looking at me around the corner, I try and slide through it to give me the advantage in the fight because it makes me faster, makes me harder to hit, but I used my slide like really early there, and it made me slide through the corner super slow, so it gave him the advantage in the fight. He had first shot. I ended up choking my shots because I was panicking. We lost the fight, but in the end, we finished with 38 kills. I think I ended up getting like 2 or 3 more kills to finish up with 40. But I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of the game. I don't know if you're going to like this or not, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you want to see more of this. I actually kind of enjoy doing this, and besides trying to help you guys get better, taking these things slow and explaining them and watching certain things in slow motion, like, it actually helps me a lot. So I'm glad I tried this out. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Make sure you drop a like for me. I will see you tomorrow. Purple Army, stand up. Peace.
Iniquity.